Welcome to the Northern Touch Show. On today's episode, we have two guests for you. First off, we have music artist and producer Tough Dumplin, and our second guest is producer and music engineer Know It. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yo, what up? In the building.
What's
going on, kid? Y'all, I'm having some little audio things. Let me get my headphones selected. So, yo, Tom, Despair, man, you guys can set it off the brushes, man. That's what the DJ do it, man. Tough Dumplin.
The Heineken Mississippi, return out the apocalypse. The boy from Jamaica, what you occupy banana. Die like super cat. Tough Dumplin will never lose. In the 90s, if you're a whack, you couldn't pay for views. Compared to now, I'm at the computer like holy cow. 1 million views of this whack shit. Wow. It's a fraction of really my reaction. If you're too young to know Red Man. Action. You say you know it all, but do you really
know it all? Where you at?
Hey, man, you don't know it all, man. Do you really, though? Really?
Yo, man, everybody that hears that song and then they run into me. Yeah. Like, yo, that part where he says know it all, yo. I was like, I gave you a mad shout out in that song, bro.
Yeah, you got it's like a snap. You know what you got? It's like when I gave Stratch the she's a gold digger. Scratch forever. Oh, like, thank you, Thrash. He gave you like a friggin' mark. Just one of those.
Yeah, man, exactly.
It was funny because when I remember thinking of the rhyme and going, can I keep saying that? And I was like, yeah, I can. Do you know it all? Do you really know it?
I know it's almost like one of those it's one of those like West Side Gun, boom, 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 boom. You know the one he did on the new project for Thing, and that new project. What's his name, man, from New York, the radio dude. Anyways, he does an extra long one. Boom, 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 boom. He stops, then he goes boom, 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 boom. He's like, okay, well, I can just keep going with it, man. It's crazy, right? Hey, you own the track, you make it. That's the fun thing about being creative, man. We do what we want to do, have fun with it. So,
no, for real.
You know what I mean? Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So what's good, fellas?
Yo, I'm good. I'm good just in video land and rapping land all at the same time.
Well, that's good, man. That's fun. Sound like fun land to me. As long as it's not homeland, you okay. You're running around like that girl Helter Skelter. Oh man. Oh man. So what's on the plate, man? What's going on? You've been what's the story, man? Because everyone knows, Tough Dumplin, everyone knows Collision, everyone knows all the thing, but you just been on a little tear lately, and then before, I know what you embarked on. What have you been into the last 5 years, and people haven't seen you on like the musical? You've been on the musical palette. You've been on the play, but I mean, really, really out there like you are now. Sis.
Nah, I say it's like I just been in film world, and film world is like it requires a crew, and so I've been just working with these, I have a team called Film Cloud Studios, and we've been just shooting a lot of films. And so once we start getting into film festival, it was just like that was the main thing. A lot of people in the crew didn't even know I rap. Is when I actually was just like, yo, I'm going to do a soundtrack, and they heard my verse. They're like, yo, you sound like an artist. You know, when you're in a different crew. Yeah. And then so they only see me as the cinematographer, video guy. They don't see anything they don't know my background or nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no need for them to know it either, I guess, right?
So when I was spinning, they're just like, oh, damn, this is going to be dope because you sound like an artist. And this whole thing, they kept saying, I sound like an artist, like I was pretending to be an artist the whole time. So it was hilarious that when I shot the video for one of the soundtracks of the film, they're like, yo, it feels like a real song. Like, it felt like I was making up a song the whole time.
You're like,
and then one day, one of the guys Googled me and was like, oh, shit, you've been putting on records for a minute, And so it was funny to be rolling that type with a team. And all we do is talk lens all day, camera all day, like nothing about music. And then one day it's just like, oh, shit, there's a whole music world that they just didn't know of. So it was one of those things where I always kept spitting, like I'm freestyling in the car. for me, it's just second nature, so I don't really have to think about it. So, but I didn't actively try to push anything. And so the funny thing is, everybody thinks I'm like setting up for something. And really what happened was I did the soundtrack for the film, and I was calling all the people from Toronto just to get feedback because I'm about to release this film. And as I'm doing that, everybody's just like, "Oh shit, you still rap?" I'm like, "You sound like the film guys. Like, yo, you sound like an artist."
Oh my goodness! That's what light the fire. I know you. That's enough to light the fire. Why is everybody saying this? What do you sound like an artist?
Oh man, that song that's going in the background right now with DJ Despair, man. That song is a badass song.
So
35.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What song is that? I can't hear it.
Yes, La La La.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yep. Yeah, that joint was crazy too.
Yeah.
So basically the soundtrack for the film is what really set everything off. And then we were talking about doing a collabo, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, "Yo, man, you and Know It planned all this shit." I'm like, "Nah, Know It just do beats, and I go on his Facebook and jack him." I literally call, and then if I have a verse that I think is dope, then I'll send them a message like, "Yo, is there anybody on this beat?"
Yeah.
You know, kind of get the clearance. You know,
it's done. It's done. Can I use it?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I'll get the track, rap on it, and then when I call them up to see if I can clear it, get the clearance, and then when I gotta mix it, I don't even bother them. I just go and pay for it so I can get the full WAV file. So I actually buy it and then get the WAV file. You know, I never seen.
Oh gosh.
Man, you don't even have to buy it. Those are free, you know.
No, the WAV file. To get the WAV file. The MP3 is free, but the WAV file you gotta pay for.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The MP3 you can get free, but the WAV file, the higher quality, you gotta pay for.
Yeah.
So you should see like
money.
Yeah, you should be like 99 cents waiting for you, right?
I was saying Dollarama. Dollarama.
But yeah, so even with the next track, Fleet, I was actually DJing with
Hey, hold on before you. Sorry, pause.
Yeah.
That's good. Start there. Complete's good. What can you? Because we know what it is, but for people who are seeing it, what is BK 35? How did you get involved with it? What's it about, et cetera, and then we can tie that to Fleet. That's pretty much like makes sense.
Okay, got you. All right, so when I first moved to Brooklyn, I was in Flatbush. And so once I started to record, Junior Reed was like my first client that I was recording out in Flatbush. So it had this whole, like, Flatbush was just buzzing.
Yeah,
it was like, my apartment was like the studio in Flatbush, just based on Junior Reed coming there.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jamaican restaurant that I used to hang out with, there's a couple artists that were working at the restaurant. And so I started to record the people at the restaurant. And you know how it is, it's like a little Jamaican community. Yep. Once you start recording people at a restaurant, they tell you who's coming in, who's where. And so from there, they led me to another crew. I think they were called Army. And then Army was a group of, I don't know, it was a bunch of, they're kind of a collective they're kind of a group already. But I used to record one or two of their artists. They used to come by the studio. And so one lived on Brooklyn Street or Brooklyn Ave. And the other one lived on 35th Street.
Yep.
So that's how the name. So I'm either visiting the guy on Brooklyn Ave or the other dude on 35th Street. So I call it Brooklyn 35 because when I first came down to New York, those are the two streets I would hang out on the most. So that's pretty much how Brooklyn 35 came about.
The man from Kingston, Jamaica, Toronto, go down to Brooklyn, go down to New York, and Tristan do what he do, man. Collision do what he do. Ain't that funny?
No.
So
If you got skills, people are gonna attract to you. That's like
no.
it's like me
that's
going to
good.
Toronto.
No, but the thing about Collision is he's got the personality. Not everybody can go into Brooklyn and do that. Brooklyn's a different beast, right? But you got that personality, he fit right in. They were like,
But you
"Yeah,
see,
let's go."
at that time when he was out there, not many artists knew how to produce, engineer, or anything. So he's
Exactly.
a gem. He's like because Canadian producers were gems because you guys got to learn the knowledge how to do that stuff out here. A lot of people didn't get that. These guys stumbled
true.
upon a machine or something and started making.
Yep.
Because I was mixing so much, like it was ridiculous. Like I remember Junior Reed will come and I mix like 3 tracks that day, and it would be on Hot 97 that day.
Yeah.
So we would come and Hot 97 would just rinse it, and the only way we would do it, we'll go in the car, play it a few times, tweak, run back upstairs, tweak it, and then run back downstairs, and then they were gone. And so that was kind of like the vibe for a minute. And like I said, you know, me and Jamaican food, once we connected those restaurants, the restaurants are like, you know, the equivalent to 88.1, where everybody would meet up. Like that was the meeting ground where MCs, because even the guys who worked at the back, they knew who was going to get free food. So we all stood in the same corner like, yo, you get free food too, aren't you? And then it's like, yo, you rap? Yo, I heard you rap. Yo, I heard you got a studio. I heard you got... And that's how we kind of build that whole foundation. Yeah. Then once I say, yo, let's shoot a video. If you look at the first Brooklyn 35 video, if you go on YouTube, and it's called 9 to 5. It was a verse Brooklyn 35 video. And all you see is all these people from Brooklyn walking down the street, spitting rhymes. It was literally like everybody on the block out of Brooklyn, spitting 8 bars, walking down the street.
That's dope. You're riding the skateboard.
Yeah, riding skate. Yeah, I was riding a skateboard on that one. But it was dope. That was my first
That's
time.
dope.
All right.
Yeah, that's
okay. Now I want to get to that. You riding a skateboard. Now you see, everybody's doing like, Little Wayne, all these people. You've been riding skateboards for like long time.
Yo, long time.
Like, so you know, that's what I'm saying. Is like there's a difference between some of the people who are doing it for the culture, and then people who are just doing it because we need to get somewhere.
Yo, I've been skateboarding for a minute, and I learned like
That's like me. No, you know I'm an avid snowboarder.
Same. Like
I'm avid. Like I will do it. I'm speed. They see me like, hey, you should go. You're really fast. You might want to go try and be professional. Like, yeah, avid. We're doing like 15 years, man.
15 years. Drake video war?
Huh? No. Not in that video. I don't did the fake ones. I did the real. I'm a real snowboarder. Like, yeah, man. We were doing that Jay-Z, the chalets. We used to watch all the Super Bowls. Meet K-Note from West that did Red Life and Grassroots. Yeah, we been doing that forever, man. That's why when Shotclair finally get that was it Turn It, right? They got that concept because the concept is because that's what you guys do. That's from us. You know what I mean? That's dope. Doing that forever, man. Oh man, we go 10 cars deep. Tristan, listen, you know me. I'll be like that. Rollerblades. Look at this. One caravan of rollerblades on Yonge Street, up and down Yonge with super soakers, man. That's the year when Puff and Shaq came. We were famous, dude. 4 of us on Yonge Street with super soakers on rollerblades. We thought of the coolest stuff. And Yonge Street's a decline. So all you have to do is go to the top. You don't even have to skate. You look so cool. Just slowly go down the street in between the cars, man. Just rolling. Anyways, man. Yeah, but that's our crew. That's our stuff. Our crew, we're originators, man. We do different stuff. So always been a little, off the path, which is good. And we create our own path. You know what I mean? So we're talking this issue because this show it's not really like the MC show in a sense. We really want to have people that do a lot in the game who are multifaceted. So that's why we asked Collision, it makes sense, production and everything. And you, Collision, because you have the production side of it too. And a lot of people, you have the engineering side and you're a music producer. And I don't think a lot of people knew that about you. Like, so a lot of artists are kind of, not like some of the large P where everybody knows, Large Professor, he rhymes and he makes beats. So what was the first, I know what you use, but what is it? And you can get in on this too. Both you guys, what's the piece of hardware gear that like got you in the game, production wise? First piece of gear. Like, what was your first piece of gear? You get.
I'm gonna tell you a little story.
You can make it as long. Make it long. Like, take your time. We're good. I want to hear it. I love these stories. These are the best parts, man. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I was 14 years old, I used to go to this guy's house. His name was Craig Love, and he used to make beats, and I used to rap. And just going there to his house, he would make the beat that I would rap on while I was there. So I was learning how to make beats while I was going there to record songs.
Yeah.
And I bought a keyboard off of him called the Emu Emax keyboard. It was a
Oh, I know that keyboard. Yep, I know that. Yep.
So that I started getting that. And then my friend Craig, he stopped making beats, and he was using the SP1200. So
that's your lineage too. You started there too.
So I was renting the SP1200 off of him and using the keyboard together. And then one day he just came to me and was like, "Yo, Tris needs the SP1200."
Oh, no good. I asked this question. You gotta ask the right questions. This guy like a thief in the night. Go ahead.
So that's how Tris started using the SP.
And I know that
after that, I bought the MPC 2000, and I used that for a lot of years. And now I have the MPC Studio, and I like the Akai products. I like the Akais too, man. I got a 900. I scored one for a 16. Actually, I'm about to get back in my production bag, so I'll be calling you guys soon. But yeah, I can produce too, man. People don't know. I do produce, actually. A lot of my records, I produce on them, and producing like that. Yeah, we lost trust.
Well, back to the SP. Wait, it was at your house before he gave it to me?
I was renting it from him.
I don't know if I know that story or not. That's what's funny about it. Well, that SP ended up...
That was so weird. My phone, I swear this area got a retard. I'm talking to you, bro. I'm holding the phone still there. The phone just cut off. I was like, it's like, boom!
Yeah.
Like, are we still in this? Good thing I could tap right back in. Okay, where were we at, man? We were asking about.
We're at the SP. We're at the SP.
The SP12.
So
yeah.
The SP that I apparently stole from Know It.
Take the SP and run. Let's go.
That ended up producing pretty much like songs like Pondering. And all that stuff.
Right.
So Amazing is it made on that? Is it that same?
Yep,
no.
So Amazing is made.
Oh, so sorry, Know It. Sorry, man. Sorry, no. I got my hand in it too. I didn't even know. Hey, we're connected. You see how we're connected? You don't even know. That's weird, man.
So the stolen SP, and then like at the time it was like, and you know what's funny about it? When I got the SP, I thought it was just gonna make me make dope beats, and so I couldn't make a beat for the first. I couldn't get anything to sound good on it, and I left it in the closet for like 6 months. I was so mad. I was just like, I don't know how to make this shit make a dope beat. And I just went back to my Cubase on the computer for like 6 months. And then one day, I was like, all right, I got to give it a shot. And the trick is with the SP1200 is, okay, so say you have 100 snares, right? If you sample 100 snares in an MPC, you could probably get 50 of them to sound good. But on the SP1200, only 3 is going to sound good, but they're going to sound really dope.
They're going to sound snappy, yeah.
And it's because the 8-bit, like not everything sounds good in 8-bit. So it cancels a lot of shit out. So every time you hear a sample, you think it's dope, you bring it in SP1200, it crushes it, and then it either really works or it doesn't work at all. So once I figured out that trick, it was crazy because I spent 1 month just sampling snares, 1 month just sampling hi-hats, 1 month on kick. And over that 3-month period, I found the combination of what sounds good. And then I made my drum kits out of that. Once I had my drum kits, it's the same shit that made No Course, Pondering, So Amazing. It's all out of that 3 months worth of like sitting there and getting the right kicks and snares. I never had to go back or really looking. Like people will be talking about digging for drums, and I was like, I dig for drums for 3 months. I ain't doing it no more.
No more.
And for like 7 years, I built beats of just the 3 months of collection of drums. I focused
Well, that's what
on.
most people. That was the trick with the SP 1200. Like all those Lonnie Liston and all those certain breaks. That's why you heard people only flip the certain drum rolls and breaks on it. You notice, right?
Yeah.
From that
Yeah.
era, if you knew which ones to use on it, yeah. Because we had one too. My first SP12, I seen Schoolie D the SP12 when I was like 86, dude. My first rap show, I went to Silver Dollar. It used to be a strip club. And Schoolie D came, Spadina in college, man. That same spot where Dilla did that show there. What's it called? They used to do all the raves there. The room, right at college and thing there.
Zone?
The zone.
Comfort zone?
Yeah, you can call the Silver Dollar way back. I'm talking about the SP12. I said Schoolie D like PSK. And we even, I was like, what the hell? And I opened up, me, Bill, and Dudley. Rest in peace, the guy did that song Rage for. That's when I was 16, dude. And we got this opening. I don't know how we got this. Some college radio, CHRY, CIUT thing, something. Man, I'll never forget that, man. That's the first I seen that shit and no one knew what it was, man. Oh, what the fuck is that magic box? You know what I'm saying? Then he played that shit live. You imagine hearing PSK and listen to those records again live off the SP12, man. Oh my! I'll never forget that in my life. Those records sound amazing off the vinyl. But when they did the show, and that show was sick. Schoolie D, that's a legend. People don't talk. Schoolie D is dope, man. Oh my gosh, you know Schoolie D is, know it? Go back to the catalog, watch them. Oh my god, I don't. A lot of people might not because it's just the timeline. He was just so. Yeah, man. Saturday night, ain't it? Oh my gosh, man. Yo, that was dope, man. But that's my first time I seen that. And then who else brought that thing up? And then when Scott LaRock brought it, I was down. One of my mentors was Jamon Strong, so Rumble Strong. And Jamon Strong was the producer. And he was the first one to have the SP12 up there. Him, DRK had one, and then X got one later. And Ron had one. There was only 4, and then Power got his later.
Yeah, Power had the old school one.
The 12, like the 12.
The 12, SP12.
Yeah.
No, but we had the DRK had the 12, and Power had the 12. But we were the first one. We had the SP1200. I was messing with Howard Hughes, which produced Nishi. That was my mentor. He called me. I knew breaks before I could even rap. It's weird. That's like I said. So I always doubt production, but my focus is just to be a rapper. Some people just your destiny or something. But now I'm going that bag. But yeah, it's cool to see that evolution, right?
Yeah, did you have an EPS too?
Yeah, the EPS.
Yeah, an EPS.
I had the EPS, and then
I have an EPS I have an EPS right now.
I had I forgot what drum machine. It was one of those friggin' rolling drum machines that I used to kill all the time.
The little black one or the white one? The white one or the black one?
The black one.
Oh, the little black one. Yeah, I come over with the number.
The little black one.
Yeah, the little black one is dope,
I used to use that with the four track.
Yo.
And then I went to the EPS, and then I went to the SP.
There's so many stories about how we got our equipment, dude. Yo, I'm going to get my sampler today. What do you mean? I'm going to the store, man. I don't want to blow the stock. And them people is good people from that place, man. But sorry, man, it was hip hop. We had to get our drum machines, man. We went to Young and Shepherd. We went over here. Everyone got one once a day. What? Rickshaw calling my thing call.
Yeah.
Rickshaw's interrupting our call. Rickshaw.
You gotta give Rickshaw a shout out.
No, but Rickshaw should know. I told him, send him a message this morning. Everyone's tired. I'm doing the interview between 2 and 3. I go call me between 10 and 2. I can show you guys on my phone. It's like how he woke up yesterday. Hey guys, I'm like, Rickshaw. I can't wait to call him back. It's okay.
Yo, I got a quick question. Noe, do you have any beats from the 1200 that you made from that specific 1200?
I don't think so.
Man,
I sold all my discs to somebody.
Oh, when you stealing your disc, they don't have reformatted all of that shit.
I know, man.
Oh, man.
It was some guy in Poland.
Oh man, that guy's happy.
Yeah, man, he contacted me and I had my MPC 2000 for sale, and he contacted me to buy it, and then I was like, I have all these discs too. Do you want these? And I sent them, and then he messaged me like 6 months later. He's like, bro, these beats on here are fucking unreal.
Hey, sorry, no it. Yo, I gotta tell you this. You got to get Rickshaw. This is funny. Rickshaw, right? He just hear my phone dinging. He's like, oh, sorry. I didn't realize you guys are doing the interview. Ding. Hey, man, I'm going to hit you after ding. Meanwhile, I'm like, dude, but you're still interrupting the interview. The technology of the text is still going on. I love my crew, man. Engineers, man. You know what I mean? He worked till like, you guys are night owls. My dad just say, what are you, part vampire? Shit. Our hours, man. Crazy.
Yo, could you find that? Could Noah find that guy right now?
Yeah, Mr. Poland.
The Poland guy? I probably have him on my Facebook.
All right, let's go find him.
Let's go.
We're gonna hear the beats and be like, "Yo, that's a Noah beat." Every beat that he makes is a Noah beat.
Every beat he makes, he's blowing up in Poland right now.
How does he do this?
I know. I'm like, he's so consistent.
How does he keep with it? I know, dude. And these are vintage. We are beats like this is so long. This is what we've been looking for, dude. Nobody can make these anymore.
You want to know what though? I've never had that feeling. Like a lot of my other producer friends, they have like a hoarding feeling with their music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't have that.
Let's open that, man. Me neither. And people always ask me, I get those calls. Hey, what you got in your catalog? I said, dude, I put it out. I go, what? You have anything else from back in '90s? No, I don't have much, man. I put them as everything. That's good though. What did you say? What about you?
I would early on. I used to fake people out because a lot of people used to come by my crib. So I put out records that I know I'll never make a beat from because everybody wants to see all the records around your turntable and they're like, oh, he's gonna sample this next, or he's gonna sample that next. So what you do is just put out all these whack records.
The whack pile. The whack pile.
And you have it. So I remember I have my collective ones, and I put them in the closet where no one could see them, and I just left all the shitty records out because people will come by the crib, and all they're doing is to see what you're picking up, and then go buy it. So I know my house was an open house because anybody who wanted to learn beats, I'd let them come by and be like, yo, you want to jump on beats? Even back in the day, my boy Lucius, and then used to come by the crib.
Yeah, Lucius. Tone Mason. Big up Tone Mason, man.
Big up Tone Mason.
Big up Tone Mason, dude.
He used to come by the crib. They didn't even have samplers back then. They'd be like, yo, check this record out. This is a dope sample. I'm like, yo, you got a good ear. So we used to just going back and forth with records is one of those things. But then I got to a point where when I make a beat, if I come back the next day and if I don't feel it, I just erase it. So it's not like I was ever hurting, oh, this beat's got to be this. Because sometimes you make a beat and you could be working at it all day, but you don't really hear it until the next day, whether it's good or bad. And so sometimes I just leave it on the whole night. And the first thing in the morning, if it makes my head bop, it's saved. If it doesn't make my head bop, I just delete it. Because back then, this is hard. This was expensive. It's really expensive to save all those floppy disks. And if you have a long-ass sample, it's taking 3 or 4 of those discs up, right?
I know.
So I'm like, yo, fuck this,
I remember that shit. It's like, fuck that. Yep.
But then sometimes...
Hold on. Sorry. How come all the art? Where's the spirit and Tom? Hey, you guys, man.
We're here. We're listening, man.
You guys got to ask some questions, man. Hey, man. You guys come on in with the questions, man.
But I'm waiting for him to finish the story. So
no, but add on while he's doing it because Tristan is going to hear this. Or maybe you don't know Collision. I know Collision. Collision knows Collision. You got to steer him. Look, you see? Look, he's smiling. You got to ask. It's all good, man. Let's keep riding, man. I'm just saying, you know what? I want you guys' perspective because this is artist. It's good to get that's why I'm calling the DJs and the hosts. You guys, but we can get all geeky and sit over here for 3 hours and talking. But for the people viewing it, you guys got to have after hearing all this. That's why I'm saying this. What do you guys think? What's coming to mind? Awesome. Anything?
Listen, man, I like Tough Dumplin. I like the music. I like everything that's been going on. I like our circle. I just want to hear the stories.
No, but we're talking about production. We're not talking about.
But I know, but I'm just saying that's
yeah.
what we're getting into. Is just like I want to hear all the different things you made on, because that leads into I want to know how and what No Tomorrow was. I mean, 24 Hours of Tomorrow was made on. You know, you see.
Okay, so that's a good question. There you go. That's what I'm asking for. You're the DJ. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm saying while we're going, I just noticed you've been rolling, and you guys. That's what I said. We talked for about 40 minutes. And you guys just said, so I'm saying we can just go and just be over. So I'm saying make sure you guys. That's what I'm saying. Make sure you guys interrupt us to say this, because artists will just keep talking. That's our gift, right? So,
but it's good. It makes for good. It makes for a good recording. People will listen.
Awesome. Good. Just make it show. You guys got to keep me in check too, man. Keep everybody in check, right? So, let's go.
All right. So what? The question was, what?
We're talking about the SP12. You're talking about the hard. We're talking. Well, that's his question, and you left off at talking about the hard disk and how it took 3 discs to save, and we're talking about the SP12. So that's where we left off. And then
freeze or just me?
I'm okay. You still there? I'm not frozen. You there? Anybody there?
Yo, I'm here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start off. Let's just get that question answered. What was that 24 hours made on?
So the 24 Hours No Tomorrow. I made it on the MPC Studio. I over the last year, I put out like 4 beat tapes, and it was mostly just to increase awareness for organ donation, because I myself have had 2 organ transplants. Yeah. So I called it the transplant beat tapes, and I was putting them out, and they were pretty much free for just artists to use. And both tracks that we did both came off of those beat tapes.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Do we want to hear a sample of it? Can we play that to spare?
Let's play.
Do you feel trapped with no room? Think the world about to end soon? You wanna see your friends for real instead of on Zoom? I stopped watching the news, I'd rather watch cartoon. You feel stressed, you say no when you meant yes. I guess the people have less. So why do you think your life is such a mess? All the troubles I had, trying to solve them. I can't tell if it's me or the government problem, and that's real.
And if you know there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. No, pause. You can pause. Yep. Yeah, big up Dana on the hook of that. She killed it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yo, yeah, I never heard back from you when I first did that track. I was like,
it was so different from you. I was like, it took me a while to process.
I was just like, he doesn't like it. I know when he likes something, he hits me back right back. And then I was like, I hope he don't take back the beat.
Yo, you know that song is so powerful. I had 2 women, and they're not even hip hop people, call me and they said that song made them cry. Like it broke them down, dude. The lyrics. Just so you guys know, you guys touch people's hearts with that song, man. They were going through some serious stuff, and that song like just gave them a spirit. So this, you guys know, the music touched the people, man. So maybe that's why Noah was crying. You said it to Noah, heard it, Noah tomorrow. He's like, oh.
Well, I'm just so used to him being so aggressive and like, you know, like it was just so different from him, and it took me a while.
It was like when Busta did. It was like when Busta did "Put Your Hands Where Eyes Can See." He was all rah, 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 rah. You know what I'm saying? And the first time, right? So so first heard, but you're like, oh my God, because you heard so much of the rah, 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 Dungeon Dragon, rah, rah, over the top. But hey, man, doesn't mean he can't sit back. But that was one of the best things he ever did. He said it, and he started doing it more.
No, he actually talked about that song.
Mm-hmm.
He was because he was in the studio, and Puffy was just like, yo, you can't just yell at all these records. And then he thought about it. He's like, yo, let me do a little bit something different. And initially, when I did the song, it was more of like, I had the mic. Normally, what I do, I have the mic sitting right next to me on my computer. My microphone is literally on the floor next to my feet. And so when an idea comes by, it was like I was in a situation where I was thinking about shit like that, and I just started to record it. And then when I sent the hook, I actually didn't.
Hold on, pause. You gotta pause that. You literally do. That's one thing I never despair. Did you know that this guy sleeps with the mic cord on?
Oh,
Just like
I
in
used
the
to
chair.
sleep with the sampler next to my bed whenever I was watching movies.
This is the first. I I've done interviews and talked to. You're the first I ever heard that. Yo, the mic just.
Yeah,
like
the
that,
mic
eh?
literally sits right by my feet. Like all the songs you're hearing, it has. That's why it has that natural like vibe.
It makes sense. It makes sense. You capture the moment right away. You can record.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Yeah.
And
It's smart. No, it's a great idea.
It's not over studio. My stuff don't sound over studio produced. You know, it has more of like you feel like, yo, he's just saying it off the top, which half of it, 90% of the time is. Yeah. But it just comes in a way where it's like I'm comfortable, so you're hearing that. And
it makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. That's dope.
Well, like most people, I used back in the days it was hard to find samples and stuff. I used to walk around with a recorder and just sample anything, like a banging on a metal or anything like that stuff, and then just flip them later.
Yeah.
That's how they do sound effects in movies too. You ever see those movies like the making of Star Wars? That was the dopest thing. Yeah, you ever see that when they showed you how they made all the sounds? Dude, half of those sounds with the X-wing flying by, it's like the man bangs on a wire. One guy's on a steel pan. It's cool to see it, and you're like, oh my god, this is like simple sound.
I was tripping out the other day watching a guy do the Bumblebee transform, like how he did all the sound.
How did he do it?
Oh man, he was just banging on metal, scratching on things, ripping things.
I want to see. Like really?
It was like by the time you heard it, it's just a bunch of things crushing and smashing, and then like he just sat there in a metal yard going nuts.
So you do a clip like that, like a clip, like on Instagram those clips, so you show what it is, like you hear it, then you saw the guy playing a bunch of pots and pans and shit. Like this is what it really is.
But people don't realize that, right? They don't realize what the behind the scenes is. They just see the finished product.
Oh, I love those. The Matrix one was the best. You guys watched that one? The second one, they had that second scene. See, people don't understand. Tristan, you're in film. People go, oh, Matrix 2 is whack. I go, it's whack. You guys don't understand production. I go, how did you guys think they did the highway, man? You know what I mean? How do you guys think they did the highway? You know that scene in the highway in the second Matrix with the two blonde dreads and they do the chase scene? How do you guys think? If you know the answer, don't answer. Right? If you know it, don't say you know it because you know it. Hey, know it. We're gonna keep coming back to that. But right? But do you guys know? Anybody here know? Take a guess if you don't know. Think about it. They had that highway scene, the car chase, the dreads on the roof. Did you think they rented the highway for like 5 hours? Where could you rent a highway? They had to make a highway, dude.
They made a highway.
Scene. When you look at that scene, you can rent it. That scene where the cars are going around and he's shooting, and the dreads are going to slow back. When Neo, that scene, you watch a little Matrix Part 2 today, the one with the key in LA. That scene, they made an oval. They had to make a highway to shoot that scene. See the level of film, people don't understand production. Oh, that movie's whack. No, that movie's incredible, dude. Because that's the only they went all around the world. They go, there's no highway that we could shut down. There's no amount of money that could shut down a highway. That's the kind of stuff people don't think about. The same with beats and certain things of production and music people just don't think about, right? I go, that's so dope, man. And they showed you how they did it. So they made an oval one. It wasn't huge. It was a round. Just went in a circle, but it was still big enough, real lanes, everything, and they shot it. And then they dismantled it. Production, man. That's all production too, right? So
but Tristan, you're in film, like you're in film production as well. So do you have to do stuff like that as well? I guess behind production for that.
Well, the guy that got me in the game of doing film, he does a lot of that stuff. And so the stuff that I do more with a particular scene, a feeling for a particular scene. So for example, somebody robbing a store. They got
you gotta set the mood. You gotta set the mood, like that what you mean?
Yeah, I gotta set the mood for that scene. And so a lot of the time they'll hit me up for a particular track that sounds like they want it to have this kind of energy. So I build a beat based on the energy for a particular scene. Sound effects is like Foley. That's different. That's like what you're hearing someone do. Like if they're banging on something, that's like a sound effect. But if you're hearing the song behind them banging, that's the mood. That's the tone. So I handle more the mood and tone stuff. But my boy, shout out to Rob Duncan. He was like one of the best at it. I mean, he moved to LA, and I think he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all them big TV shows. Yeah. And so to this day, he still throws me a few shows. I think we did like 2 of them for Sony like last year, where we're just pumping out a couple of tracks for Pacific scenes. So
you're in film. You know, Kish is big in films too, right? He does voiceover and stuff. You know, Kish is the main voiceover guy. Kish, you know, he's like Lion King. And he has like almost everything. You know, that's what he left. He almost did a path like you, but you stayed in music. He totally left music for it. That's amazing. I was sitting down watching Lion King with my daughter, dude. And Jenga, you know that Jenga, like all of the Coyotes Jenga? That's Kish. And I was like all the time. I talk to Kish all the time. And he was getting close for his videos. And he's calling me. And I'm watching the show. He goes, hey, I do all these things. I'm on this. I go, you do what? He goes, yeah, that's my character. I go, what are you talking about? I've been raising my daughter, and you've been doing that voice, and we've been watching you for like 2 years, and that's like, you're my friend? That was the weirdest thing ever, dude. So he sent us all these toys from the thing, whatever. Yeah, but his credits are incredible. He's one of the most top-rated voice, like, what's it called, voiceover guys? It's not even voiceover work. He does all kind of voice work. So what do you call it? Like, he's one of the top ones in LA, man. He's been there for like, how long? And then since COVID, he was one of the main people, because he always had that. He's like you. He came from Toronto with that whole lineage and everything. He wanted to set people up so they could record at home. Because he's like, he did what you did in New York with the music and recording. He's like that with film. So a lot of them went to him to get their home set up, their mic. Because, you know, voiceover artists, like, they can't go into the studios no more. They're used to going in to just record it. Yeah. Also, the whole community. Remember that started? Yeah. So it's interesting how people go from music production to film now. So.
But there's an interesting connection there too, where you just talked about somebody that was working on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and our next guest that we had coming up this Saturday was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we got Adam Bush. Adam Bush is on one of our episodes, guys. That's like we're posting. You'll see it soon if it's not up already. So yeah, so that's kind of trifecta.
But I was doing it from when I came out the gate, because I think No Course was the first vinyl that I got on. And No Course came out in like 96. And No Course ended up being in the TV show Traders. Remember that TV show?
Yeah, I do actually, yeah.
And that was the first placement that I got. Once we got that placement, they would hit me up randomly. Then we did like Blue Murder and a bunch of other films. And then I started to get more. I got so into it because they were like hitting me up to a point where I couldn't make enough beats where I could clear the samples. So I brought my boy Kenny in. Kenny Bounce.
I remember Kenny. Yeah.
And so Kenny would listen to my beats and then replay them live and change all the notes so I could get them cleared for the films.
Kenny's it was like, I miss that dude. Yeah.
It was just so dope to have somebody to reinterpret, redo your beat and make it sound, just enough that we didn't have to worry about sample clearance.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much, So that's how I have to handle dealing with a lot of the film stuff. Is just literally get a musician replay everything live. So.
Yep, it's a dance, man. Arts and entertainment, y'all. So what? No, there's any other talents you got? You say you used to rhyme too. So you gonna come back on the mic? What's up? You and Despair gonna do a track. Despair's gonna start. Despair's coming back on the mic too. He made a big announcement last night. He talked about our track. Put it out there. I can play the
I heard a rumor that I was back with you and Tough Dumplin. I said I heard a rumor.
Yeah, but if you're the one saying you heard the rumor, then you know what that means.
Yeah, but I didn't say I gave the rumor out. I just said I heard a rumor.
I have one verse that I rap on all my beats just to make sure it sounds good with rapper.
Oh, really?
I rap the same verse.
Yeah, what's the verse?
All of my friends know it. They know the verse.
That guy's just verse time. That's dope.
Send me the verse.
Really? Can you do it for us? Do it for us. I want to hear this, please. Can you do it? Please, I want to hear the verse. That's so crazy because most DJs, most producers I know, they have their favorite acapella. Like, you know what I mean? I remember X used to have like 3 or 4 acapellas. One was Large Pro, something, whatever. And he just put those on top of the SP1200 beats. Okay, it's good to go. You know what I mean? That's smart,
that's what I do. I just, instead of like throwing an acapella on it, I just got this one verse that I have memorized, and I'm
That's
like,
so smart.
I rap a few bars, and I'm like, yeah, sounds good with rappers on it.
Yo, you gotta send me that verse.
You gotta show people that somehow, sometimes. Like, what? That's crazy. Especially your friends would all do it. That would go viral. Hey, everybody, if the song's good, I don't know. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah,
crazy.
all my homies that used to hang out at my studio, they would all know my verse because I would just be kicking it all the time. Like,
that's dope.
That's why we do this show. Because you know people to a point, but there's still layers to the onion. You gotta peel back the layers. There's things to find out. That's incredible, man. Oh man. Oh man. So you gotta put the hook. You got a hook too, or just the verse? No hook.
I don't even have to rap the whole thing anymore. I just do a couple lines, bars. And then all my homies say the other lines.
So it's like when I do Northern Touch, I just put the mic on, and I never have to do that whole verse, dude, ever. It's so nice. That's a nice point. You get to that music. Hey, I don't gotta do nothing. You understand the feeling. Just put the mic on.
Yo, Thrust, because of the Northern Touch song, what's the biggest crowd that you ever performed in front of?
You know what? The biggest crowd we did Beastie Boys at Molson Park, filling in for Tribe Called Quest, and it was like 60,000.
Wow, man, that's incredible.
And we got called the night before, and we had to put the show together on the phone, almost like we did the music industry, and drive to Barrie. Like, we found out Friday night. The show was like 4:00 on Saturday. It was one of those like 11 o'clock smoking weed, doing nothing. Hey, you guys want to open a Tribe? Yeah, I'm kind of joking. Oh, I'm going to Barrie. Yeah. Hey, Biz was supposed to be. I think Biz was supposed to be there, and Biz didn't make it either. Anyways, rest in peace, Biz. Every time you got to salute the Biz. Every show, nobody beats the Biz. But yeah, man, that was crazy. But I've done a lot of like crazy shit like that. Remember, I did Soul Decision stuff. So I was touring with Destiny's Child and Christina Aguilera for like 7 months. When I disappeared I did that. So I was in the States for that whole year. And then I came back and 9/11 happened, and people didn't see me for like another 7 years. So that's why it seemed like I kind of.
He had the perfect line.
I know, he just muted himself.
Yeah, he goes, disappear. Oh, right when he said disappear. Disappear.
I slid the screen over. I go, I wonder if I did. That was the perfect edit. Hey, man, production. But yeah, man. So that's interesting. Yeah, we did. So honestly, when I was touring the States, I was saying with those guys, I was doing 30,000 every night for like freaking. I did it for 8 months, dude. I was with Justin Timberlake for like 5 months, dude. Every day. I was with Beyonce for 5 months every day. The whole family. We really let it out there. I was with them, like, so that was my like whole thing in the States. So after doing all the underground, I did the top of the pops. And the funny thing is, a lot of people don't even realize I'm the reason that the pop artists can do a song with a rapper. I started that whole trend. We were the first ones on Billboard with that. And after that, and that's why Justin Timberlake decided to do a song with T.I. Look at the timeline. Justify My Love was because of me. Because he watched all our shows, and those guys had a live band, and we flipped it, and made it hip hop. And we just killed it. And those guys were studying our show every night. And then all those records started to come. We went top 10 in America. I was the first artist on Billboard top 10 from Canada. It wasn't what everybody thinks it is. So it's interesting, man, with the crowds, man. Yeah, but the best shows are always like 200 people. Honestly, those big shows, the Beastie Boy one was dope, but that was just because it was just to see that massive crowd. I was just watching their show. But the best shows are always like at the Rivoli, those little clubs, dude, with like 200 people, and like you fit 600 in them. Those are always the most memorable because you see everybody and you connect to everybody in the audience, man. That's my favorite. Like those big shows, people are like, how do you do those shows? Well, let me tell you something. It's very easy because there's so much lights, and I hate to fool everybody, but anybody waves to you at those shows, they're lying because you only see the first 2 rows. All those big concerts, when you see it, I did those shows every night. It's so funny. I'd be waving to fake people, and we're laughing all the time. You wave some guy, hey, you wave to me. Yeah, whatever, buddy. I was in the 3rd row, so I can't even see the 3rd row, dude. You only see because the lights are so hot, so bright. It's only like there's that little gravel pit. There's the first row, so after that, you don't see nothing. So it's easy to perform those shows, but there's no connection. Right? It's like soulless. It's soulless. That's why people don't like doing those tours after a while. It's soulless, man. You're like, Another one at 5 o'clock, and they're 5 o'clock shows. Imagine doing shows at 5 o'clock. That's the weirdest thing ever, dude. You gotta be up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like right now, can you perform right now? Let's go, 30,000. Tough Dumplin. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man.
Aki, I'll just start saying Aki.
To get your body up, like it's weird. Like artists usually, saying, because those unions, we do those shows and those unions, it's union contracts. Everyone knows about union. So you gotta be in the building, myself. You gotta be up by 9. There's not hey man, 9:30. If you ain't done, cut. It's just curtains cut. Union, man.
That's crazy.
So all those shows, that's a whole other world. That world is crazy, man. You don't want to get trapped in that world. And the artists that are in.
Oh, we lost him again.
Lost him again.
This is gonna be a nightmare to edit.
I know you're gonna be editing like and you know what? Me and Noah will take over the interview.
You might as well.
So
The
Noah,
audio,
can you
the
be in
audio
the
is gonna be
background?
fine. The audio is gonna be fine. The video is gonna be a nightmare to edit.
Oh, shit. He's gonna come back sooner or later.
What's this song?
It's a Brooklyn 35 joint.
That's what's up. Let's get it. Yeah. I'm pushing over. Hopping up on my ship when they catch a cold one. Hopping up on my ship, the whip maneuver. Get my money up off the streets. Get my money up off the streets. Get my money up off the streets. I'm pushing over. Moving the fast cars. We get 5 stars. Some of the street laws. Some of the cop cars. I got my license. I got a gas car. Whip like a white man. Swerve like a NASCAR. I'm in a spaceship. Taking a Nassau.
I like this song, man. Everything you guys have been giving me is just like it's just like me loading a gun every single time with different bullets and going. I can't wait to go out and play because I haven't DJ'd like actually event since last year. Like, August.
Hey, the Duppies. What is the Duppies thrust, dude? I'm back. Sorry, guys. Phone died. We're doing too much work, man. My phone can't even.
Not charging your phone. That's just.
How can I charge my phone when I just ran in the door to do the interview? You see me?
You see, if you're gonna,
and I gotta go outside because my family
pack.
inside.
You need a battery pack now, Thrust. You're moving up.
Listen, dude, we're just elevating our game. This all
should have a portable battery pack.
After Paris Smith, your life changes, okay? And this has only been the last 4 days. I've never had to do this with my phone.
My life changed the other day after talking to what's his name there, Krista Glove Taylor. Once you talk to Dr. Dre Spock, you ain't gonna talk to nobody in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
so you see, but our lives are all changing, dude. That's what I'm saying. Our lives are changing, and the scary thing about all this, I'm proud of the team and everybody who surrounds us, our soul family, our soul circle, anyone that has, because look what we've done during COVID. Dude, we did so much stuff, but none of us we haven't got together, and we're so busy.
I love it when Tough Dumplin calls me in the morning and be like I'm on the phone with D already, and he's just like, "Are you guys talk every day?" I was like, "Yo, man, there's nobody I could talk to about music every day but another DJ that actually is on the same tip as me." You know what I mean? Like, If you find that gem, you're happy. Come on, if you find another videographer that loves everything you do, you'd be happy to talk to that person every day. You know what I mean? Or producers. Like, it's like sometimes producers don't want to talk to the other producer because they don't want I don't want to steal my beat pack, and this is that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, producers are a little different. DJs, you could be like that. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to show your mixes off, but you can show that if you learn a new scratch.
Oh, man,
it's not the same, right?
I learned
DJ might have these mixes, and the guy goes to the club next night, and then you see Power doing X's mix. Like, what the hell? He stole my mix. Just using it as an example. You know
I got Jack for a mix one time. This dude, he hired me to DJ, and I'm killing it. And then he goes on, and he doesn't do that good. He's like, okay, DJ for him a second time, but my computer died, and I didn't have the plug for it, so I had to DJ off his computer.
Oh Lord!
And when I plugged in my drive, he jacked all my DJ files. He jacked it.
Yeah.
And then was like, yo, I gotta run. I'm like, what do you mean you gotta run? Like,
I gotta run.
Yo, I open up the computer just to eject my drive, and I see the folder there with my shit on it. And it's funny because I enabled the folder funny, so I saw it, but I didn't react right away. And I was like, damn, yo, that dude never hired me for another gig again. He had my whole set. I was so pissed.
You gotta bring this guy back.
You know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, in the beginning when DJs were starting, a lot of DJs were just showing up their flash drives and hard drives.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't know that some guys had their computers set up to suck the drives, like anything that gets plugged into their
that's just
gets sucked in right away. And I was just like, because one time I had a protector on my hard drive and I plugged it in, and the guy's like, "What's wrong with your hard drive?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You can't drag the file onto my desktop." I said, "I see how you go."
Yeah.
He was just like, "I see how you
How you go?
go." Oh man.
One of those. Oh, the life of a DJ, man.
Oh man, same thing being in the studio, man. Sometimes somebody would plug in their hard drive just to go steal the track and release it before it's even anything.
Dude, come on, man. Everyone knows there's so many stories about that, man. So many stories, man.
I love
Chris,
the
where are you driving, bro? You've been driving for like a long time.
You what?
You've been driving for like a long time.
Who's driving?
Tristan.
Chris.
I'm not driving home. I've been home for like since we
Oh,
started.
we're talking about Tough Dumplin. He's been driving.
Oh, Tristan.
Yeah, I know it's been like an hour and
You
a
know
half.
what it
He's
is?
still in
No,
the car.
my name is Chris.
I'm
So it sounded like you
because
said
I'm leaving
Chris. That's why
Brooklyn.
my government's Chris. So I heard Chris, not Tris. I was
Man,
like, oh,
you thought everybody say thrust, this and that, everything.
Now I'm going from Brooklyn to Philly. So you're on the road with me right now. So I just left Brooklyn. Now I'm in Philly.
So
And
that's
now I
like,
gotta go to the record store. So
that's
all
like-
right, so let's talk about today. So today, right? I'm supposed to. I got an interview that I'm doing with my boy about like influential records, right? So I call the record store because I don't have the record in my crate because my record's in storage. And you know I'm dealing with the Jamaican stores, you know. So I hit hit my boy, and I like, yo, you got the harder they fall, Jimmy Cliff. I'm like, me no know, but me know I'm virgin, I might have it. So I like, all right.
boy. Mm-hmm.
So he tells me about the brethren, and I was like, yo, where's the store at? He's like, the store is in Flatbush. So I go to Flatbush, and he tells me the block it's in between because he doesn't have the exact address. So I'm running around the block trying to find a record store. I find the record store. It's an electronics store, first of all. It's not a record store. You know, a Jamaican store, they have 2 stores and 3 stores.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's electronics outside, and then in the back, it's a record store. So I'm already looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's on the front. You can't find it because the front's all like the. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's all the stereo stuff in the front, and they don't show you none of the records. You have to go in.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then there's no parking because they have that weird parking in Brooklyn. It was just like the thing you guys Toronto wouldn't understand, but I know what you mean. It's hard.
All right.
Hard to get
so
in.
I run in there, and I see the dread, and I'm like, "Yo, me here for pick up Jimmy Cliff record." It's like, "Oh, you need to give me more time to look for that, man." And then he points to the record, and there's a shelf with a record. If none of the records are organized, I would be like,
Oh my gosh, man! I get to West Side Story.
yo, virgin. So I called. I had to call around, and we got a record store in Philly that has it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go all the way to Philly because I was heading there anyways to pick up this record that I should have got on Flatbush.
Unbelievable. What's that? Hour and a half.
I know,
drive?
right?
Hour and a half, right? 2 hours. How long does it drive again?
It's like 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, 2
that's
hours.
On the,
And
so you're on
it's
the,
like,
you're on
yo,
the,
and
New
it's
Jersey,
crazy
the New Jersey
because-
drive. You're on the turnpike guy. You took the turnpike down.
That's a big, harder they come, the harder they fall. That's a popular record. But
Dude, that
since
record, I have,
COVID,
that's
people
one of the
start
first
listening-
records. That's one
But
of the first
since
records.
COVID, everybody's
Yeah.
record collecting again. So
That's
that
in
record's
everybody's
like
collection, though.
gone. What?
That's in everybody's collection. Like my mom, that's that. Al Green. That's like the Saturday cleaning records, man.
Yeah.
Full of,
No,
you
for
just put them
sure.
in the house for a time. So I know it's in my mom's pile. If I want it, I can't take it, but I can just borrow it. So I go borrow it, borrow it, sample it. I take it back. Where's my Al Green? Your parents are funny though. They'll be like 5 records they never play. Hey, you know your parents like that. You people like that, like 5 records they never play, but it's important to them. Like, hey man, you got to bring that record back, man. No, I'm just gonna sample it. I don't care. Just scratch up my record. Oh,
Yeah, man. You want to know what I used to do is like, because I grew up around the border, I have tons of friends like that live in Detroit, and I would just go to my friend's house and then raid their parents' record collections. Because
we used to
a lot
date,
of
we used to date girls. We wouldn't want to date them. We knew we found out their dad had records, guys. You used to do those flexes. We used to go, yeah, whatever. Next thing you know, we're there. Yeah, we don't care. Oh, you're great, man. They're still in the basement, guy. The stuff we used to do for breaks. We used to go through CIUT before they knew. My freaking Drake Connect. Technology is weird, man. Took this thing off and
he's gone again.
I got a jet soon too.
But as soon as he comes back, let's talk a little bit about Fleet so we can get that in before you guys have to go. And
Which song?
For a little bit. Fleet, the Fleet remix.
Okay. Yeah, if he comes back on.
Because we want to promote that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I love it. It's so fun.
Rashida Mir.
You hear me, no, right? Tough Dumplin. Hear me this time?
I diggity dance like dance effects. Biggity bad boy, I flex. Boy from Jamaica, you better give me round shit respect. You city stink, a riggedy rank like manure. A wiggity where you from, nigga? Jamaica, not the sewer. The sewer. I take it back to niggity 92 or niggity 95. New Jersey drive, come still a call with me. I'm niggity menace like Dennis. I riggedy rob you for your Nintendo and your ziggity Sega Genesis. A 1, 2, cook the collar, Lou. Mix it with the dumpling in the stew, hibbity doo. And my preamp is connected to my headphone. And my headphone is connected to my microphone. Why the hell am I telling you this? I'm rapping like rappers nowadays. They say blah blah blah. Oh, I'm depressed and can't sleep. I lost 2 followers this week. You're crying and the Uber was the G.
Why can't live my life? Said I want positive vibes. Why you can't understand? I don't have the time. I don't know who, what, and why. And even if that was my energy, who said you was so friendly? I gotta watch out for the enemy in my enemy.
I'm niggity nice, just diggity thrust, man. I diggity come through, I diggity write the rhymes are right, man. I diggity the flow, I diggity sounding nice, man. You wanna come through, you diggity come up and zip price, man. I diggity rip, I put it all together. I diggity the style, the Lexus style, my style will last forever. I'm so clever, endeavor. I came to rock the spot with it. Me and Tristan coming back with Sheeta, man, we rock the shit.
Ain't no fight, bitches on my feet.
You.
Yeah, I love that video.
Which video you like better?
The Fleet one, man, you're so animated. Like you're jumping around like you're 20 years old, bro.
Yo, I'm 20 years old, bro.
You look like you're 20 years old, man.
Oh shit. Nah,
So where did the creative
video.
come up with that? Where did you come up with the creative for that?
I was watching Das Effects part, so I got the Das Effects part down. So I was watching Das Effects, and when I realized, if you really look at Das Effects, what made it was the interaction between both of them going back and forth. Like, they look identical. And so I was just like, well, let's take that element out of it. Like if you look, the person next to me is dressed exactly like me with the mask, similar colors. So it had that twin, and Das Effects had this double thing. And I needed, even though the other person in a rap, them being animated will give that illusion of like 2 people going back and forth. And so with Thrust's part, I realized if I did the fire, people would get that really quick, because in their first music video, they actually was holding the fire going through the sewer. So I figured, we could pay homage to that. And so when I told Thrust about it, I was just like, look, I don't know if you have a fear of fire, but I got this idea.
You're on mute, Thrust. You're on mute.
Yeah, I got this idea, and
Thrust. No, I said no.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Just so you know.
Thrust looked it up and figured out, like, yo, all right, I could do this. So I figured if he had the fire element, then I spoke to the other artist, and I was like, look, I'm going to take it back, like back in the day, like booming in your Jeep. And so the Jeep with no doors on it, I just thought was the way it's always shot. They always shot from in the Jeep, but I thought it would be cool to shoot from the side. And so I could have been on the Jeep, but I felt like it fit more for the other artists.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going to be on a scooter. And I was like, no one's riding a scooter in a hip hop video. Might as well take the scooter. Mine was like the least dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else had a danger to it. But I thought, we drop the scooters and go nuts.
And that's right. I just realized that you had a safe part. I had to go like fires.
I gave everybody the fire, no door, and I took a scooter.
You guys understand, eh? When I did my scene, man backed out of it. Man got scared. Man got COVID. We had to literally go and guerrilla that dude. And we found the perfect little corner where the neighbor couldn't call, the cops couldn't. And when we were shooting that scene, if there was audio, all you hear in the background is sirens, police sirens. It's kind of in the junction. You have the junction on the west end of Etobicoke there, right off of Queensway there, in that back little industrial area in there. We did it up in there. So I used to work around this. I know that. There's some little corner we have to be hidden from in there, man. It's like when you go to those missions trying to grab a car back in the day in Toronto. I had to go back to the old criminal mind. Hey, man, I used to them cars. I go, I gotta find the spot where and we found it. It was perfect, man, that corner. But the joke was, if you look where I shot it, if I took 2 steps to the right, the video surveillance camera for the whole building was right there. It was so weird, man, and we were just in this little corner so no one could see. It's a little triangle. But it was the perfect shot. Yeah, no, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it came together. When I saw your scene, I was like, oh, this is going to blend well.
Well, because at first I wasn't sure, man.
I knew it was night. And I was like,
the fire is, you gave me the best advice, and it's good you did film because we wrote this. Because if I didn't go look on YouTube, I would have been screwed. Because most people would have taken that stick. You guys know you're right. It's just alcohol, right? Rubbing alcohol, or ice, whatever. You could just douse the stick and it would just stay lit. But the key, one guy said this. I watched 10 videos. Good thing you fell. And one guy goes, "Hey, don't you dare douse that flame in that thing without putting in a spray bottle because that flame will never go out." So in between shots, if you got to run, something goes on, da-da-da-da. So luckily we just kept spritzing it every time we had the battery change, lighting and all that stuff. And that saved us, man. So yeah, it's good, man. Did the damn thing.
Yep. Yeah, so for all the concepts in that, I just felt like everything came together. Like it was one of those ones where I had it in my head and it, like even I was searching for a Jeep. And I was calling around trying to find like a Jeep where we could take off the door. And Dana from Brooklyn 35 posted herself at the beach in her Jeep. And I was like, wait, Brooklyn 35 crew member got a Jeep like that? Let's use that. And literally I called her, I've seen her posting a picture on the Jeep, in the Jeep. I'm like, yo, we're shooting a music video. See if we could get you in it and the Jeep at the same time. So she drove the Jeep over, and it was like, it was even better than the picture. I was just like, damn, she rolled up, and everybody was like, yo, you doing a Puffy video? What's going on here?
That's the other thing I love if you guys know, there's so much more women in the video. It's not like a male-dominated video. And it looks fly, man. That's, I think, the edge, too. People don't understand. That's what I like about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The video's dope, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So for people that don't know, like how long would it take to shoot something like that?
It's more planning. Shooting doesn't take long. Shooting only takes long when you don't plan. But I planned out all the shots. So, for example, the moving shot where you see everybody rhyming in the car, they're driving behind me when I'm doing my scene. So when I'm rapping, as soon as I'm done, the car pulls up and continues. So we just did like, maybe 6 take of that. And basically, out of the 6 take, I just cut back and forth. So it took about, I'll say, realistically, 2.5 hours to just do a bunch of takes. And it was just that we had everything mapped out. So if you add in the time, take another 2 hours for me to get to the location, scope it out 2 days before, make sure it's good for us to do everything we want. It's about a good, let's say to be safe, 6 hours. to put everything all together. And then the editing comes in. Then you add.
That's what I was gonna say. The editing too. That's a whole.
The editing is what takes the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, editing for me on this one wasn't too bad, but color grading was an issue because trying to color grade Thrust's night scene and the singer ran a bit late. So when we did Rashid's verse, the sun was at a different part in the sky than when we did the singer's part. And so trying to make sure everything worked well together. Because if we shot everything midday, I could saturate the whole thing and make it look surreal. But once we lost the light at the end of the day, I only could do a portion of the video like that. So I think I spent most of the editing color grading to make sure the colors pop. Because if you look at my jacket, it just pops right out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Awesome work, dude.
Yeah, awesome. So that's it. Mixing the song, you know, like that was another thing. I had to mix everybody's vocals. So that was another 2 days of sitting there.
Not just you had the track too. Everyone's verses were longer too. We all did longer verses. Riel initially was she was just gonna be the hook, but then she surprised us and dropped her verse. It was like that song was a whole evolution, man. And you have it, and you had it yourself. You said how long did you have yours? You told me when you called me, didn't you have like the verse for like a while? How long did you have?
Yeah, my verse was done. So how the track came about was I was DJing with Ski. Yeah, I was DJing with Ski, but it was for Rashid's event. Rashid was doing an event, and so me and Ski Beats was DJing, and Rashid goes on, and I hear that sample come on, and when the beat drops, I was like, "What the hell is this?" And Ski Beats gave me that look, like, "Yep, that's my beat." And I was just like, you know, that look where he was like, yo, like, because I didn't know he did the beat. And so I called Rashid the next day and I was like, yo, that Ski beat, you think we could do a remix? It's the same thing I do to everybody. I hear something I like and I just bother the shit out of them. People really think I plan these songs and I don't. I just hear something I like and then I either go on their Facebook or I go on there. Even back in the day, I did like 20 features, and all of them was me going on people's MySpace and looping the back of their beats and rapping on them.
Bro, that's hilarious.
That's
literally, that's how I feature on everybody's song.
Yeah, what you say? No, when he did that to your dope, he said what?
So me and another artist from the Kitchener-Waterloo area, Sharky, we did a bunch of albums together, and I remember we did this one song called "Broke Street Funk," and I loved it so much, and I sent it to Tris, and he sent it back with a verse. Like 2 days later.
Yeah, that's just
and then we ended up using that version on the album.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's gonna make it sound right.
I did it with what's the other I did it with another group. I did it with a few groups where I literally find where the beat and loop it and spit my verse. Because there's a couple of people hit me up about featuring, but I find when people send me beats, I never want to do the feature on that beat. So if they give me a bug like, yo, it'd be dope if we collabo, I'll just keep going through their feeds of music until I like something. I go, I want to feature on this because I know I could bring a style to it that's different. So that's one of my things is so uncoordinated is because I feel like I only sound good on certain tracks, and when I hear them, I know them, and so I'll pick them. And Fleet was one of those tracks. I heard it, and I was like, I like this beat. I want to rap on it. So even if he didn't do it, I probably either did a mixtape version of me jacking it or something. But, yo, you know, they gave the go-ahead. Everybody liked it. Ski Beats gave the thumbs up on it. And I was like, all right, let's make it live.
What's Ski saying now? What's he saying now that the video's done? You talked to him since? That'd be interesting. Like, oh man, you really.
No, I'm gonna get his. I already liked everything, so I just haven't talked to him on the phone yet.
Yeah.
But the word that I got, he said everything looks solid, so he gave the thumbs up on everything. So just having Ski Beats on the track is dope. I mean, he produced some of the dopest songs.
Yeah, ask him if I can have Jay-Z's email address.
While you at it?
Yeah, that's true. I'll get Jay-Z's I'll see if
Don't,
I
but
can get
don't jack Jay's beat. Don't jack nothing from Jay because it'll be over for all of us. Okay? Hey Jay, like, hey, what? Just what? What? All right, I guess I'll just go with it. Fuck, he sounds good on it.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll see if I can get Jay to feature on a track.
Oh, I know
That'd
you're
be dope.
fearless, man. Oh, that would be crazy. I'm ready. Let's go. No, that was dope, man. I gotta thank you for calling me for that one. Like, that was on my. That's one of those producers on your list. If you're a real MC, Ski Beats, man, you can put that on your little thing. You work with him. That's like that's a real blessing, man. Contributor, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, for sure.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what set off the track, and then the video was like I had the idea right away from the style, the Das Effect style. So I was just like, and then once you know, Parrish gave the thumbs up on it, I was like, yo, we're part of the hit squad.
Oh man, the day the city went quiet. The day after tomorrow, it's like the movie. The day after tomorrow, man, with that weird silence. There's that weird silence in the air. Hey, man.
Headbanger could
well.
use a remix.
Yeah, I could. Oh man, Headbanger.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh man, you starting another fight over here. Here we go.
I know. We're gonna
Give him the Jamaican version.
The Aki and Saltfish version.
That'd be a Dutty version, man. If
Yeah,
headbanger.
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 Are the headbanger that man? You're not playing the headbanger that man. Oh my gosh, dude. You really changed the whole meaning of the headbanger, dude.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, too much for TV. Well, guys, man, we've been running. Is there any? I don't know. What's the word, man? I think we got it.
Yo, Noah, what are you plugging these days? What are you promoting these days, Noah?
Yo, so just online, fucking me and Sharky, we just released a little EP called The Legends of Shark and Know It. It's on Bandcamp. If people want to look it up.
All right.
I don't know. Just I got some stuff in the works, but I can't talk about it on the.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just yet.
We know.
That's all good. Where do they find you?
I got stuff in the works that I could talk about.
If people watching this want to get some production work with y'all, where do they find you? What's the best place? Graham? Does Graham and just go on Instagram and message you?
So Bandcamp, I have 4 beat tapes out. The Transplant beat tapes, volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's like over 50 beats on there. People can go nuts, record songs on them, download them, send them to me. I just got so mad of like sending people beat packs, recording songs on them that never come out.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I got all these beats that are never going to reach people's ears. So I was just like, I'm putting all these beats on beat tapes. And then at least they're out there for the public to hear. If people want to record songs on them, they're welcome to.
All right, man. Y'all heard, man. I think I'm gonna.
And I'm always pressing to jump on
You just watch out for Tough Dumplin because he's in your area. He's in your area.
Yeah, Thrust. If you want to get down on a song, just check out those beat tapes. There's lots of stuff on there. Road Dollar did a song. Road Dollar did a song on one of them recently.
Ro's dope, man. Ro's awesome, man. He's so talented too. Ro's mad dope, and he's such a good person too. Big up Ro, man. I love Ro, man. He works with the youth. He works with the youth. Everything, man. I love that. That's good.
He's got
man.
a clothing line coming out too.
Awesome, yeah.
Called
I love that.
Colors.
Me and that bro connect good, man. I love that brother, man.
He's
right
good
there.
people for sure.
Yeah, he really is, man. There's not a lot of wholesome people like him. He really, like our big brother, big stamp, man. Salute, man. If he's been the same G through everything, I know a lot of those guys. I worked at Fresh Arts, right? So I know the circle before they knew they were the circle. So I was like in that camp of raising them, and then I was in the Fresh Arts alumni too, right? So yeah, man. So I know those guys, man. And he was always just an awesome person to work with, man. His energies are so amazing, and he's so he's like the fashion dude, man. He always looks so dipped, right? We just try to stay fly. He's one of the dudes. He always look fly. Bro, like, bro, what's the move? Oh, Frost, look at you. You doing that? Look at you, bro. He's a father now too, so he must be glowing, man. I'm so happy when I heard he became a father too, man. Because of all people, he's gonna be like that kid. Oh my God, man! Imagine, right? If you know him as a person, yeah. That's good, man. I want to hear that. Roll Dollar would know it. Hey, man.
Yo, man, I'll send it to you.
Send it to Despair, actually. Despair is the guy right there, man. Despair got to get that.
Despair. It's on his SoundCloud page.
You hear that, Despair? You got a Roll Dollar.
Roll Dollar.
You know it, man. That's crazy. That's got to be crazy. His voice is dope, too, man. I got to do a record with Roll, too. Me and him are supposed to work all the time. It's one of those other things. Good people just never did a record. So I got to get it Roll, too. Maybe we'll do that. Me and Noah. Hey, man. Going to Noah beat, man.
Roll Dollar. Socrates. Let's do it.
Oh, man. If you can get Socks. I finally got a record with Socks. It came in directly, but hey. So I got one out. It's out right now. So that's weird. I had to go to like Milwaukee for this dude to bring me on a track, and I was surprised, and I didn't even know who was going to be on that. I go, oh yeah, it's Socks. I go, Socks? What? Cool. Oh shoot. Anyways, that's the industry. The game is cool like that, right? He probably didn't know I was on it either. He might just heard it finish.
Yeah.
It's weird how it works, man. But that's why we do it. We get those little surprises, and those are always the best thing to keep you going, man. Every once in a while, something will pop its head out. You're like, oh, that's why I do this. Okay. And Tough Dumplin, well, everyone knows, just look up Tough Dumplin, and you get, you're connected. What's the best way to connect?
We got the film coming out, Divide. So they're going to do the announcement for all the films, film festival that accepted it. So I think we got into 3 film festivals. So we're about to do an announcement next week. And then, you're going to start hearing the soundtrack for that. So Divide, the film, the soundtrack. So the whole film world you're going to start seeing the Tough Dumplin films.
It's a whole new world, people. Look out. The day the world changed. Here we go. Awesome, man. Well, thanks, fellas, for your contribution. Thanks for the love. Thanks for everything you guys do. This is a really cool show, man. We got open, got into a lot of stuff, and I think the people viewing and watching it actually really have some food for thought after this one. And I don't know, anything else you want to say? Despair, Director Awesome. Director Awesome usually closes the show. So I don't know, what you saying, Despair? What's up?
Just thank everybody for tuning in, and thank you guys for coming by. And can't wait to get some more music.
Yeah.
And of course, you can follow Despair on the DJ Despair app, and you can follow Thrust OG on Instagram, and is it Twitter as well, or just Instagram?
No, they can follow me on any of the platforms. Everything's under Thrust Music. You just search Thrust Music, it will pop up. On Facebook, it's Facebook's. My Facebook is pretty full, but if you can squeeze in there, it's just just search Thrust. Yeah, it's full. No, it's Facebook's weird. I'm not at 5,000, but I'm full. And it's been like that for 4 years. I'm at 4,700 and something, but I can't add more people. It's weird. I don't even know. I don't even care about the numbers. You know me. I'm not a numbers guy anyway. But it's weird like that. And it rolls up and down. So anyone trying to add me, I don't even know this Facebook game. But my music's not on Facebook. I tell people that I don't put really much on Facebook at all. All of my music is on Instagram. I'm just using that one. So anyone who wants anything related with Thrust music, or any of our, you want to get to know it, you forget how to get to Tough Dumplin, you can go through me to get to all of our guests, people, anyone here, and it's all on IG, Thrust Music, man.
All right, and that's going to wrap it up for today's show. Of course, you can follow The Northern Touch Show on Instagram at The Northern Touch Show and Twitter at Northern Touch 6. You can also find us on Bite Size. That's BYTESIZE.me/The Northern Touch Show. Despair, you want to play us out?
Sure, what do you guys want to hear?
Whatever.
Whatever?
No music industry.
Or we could play... yeah, all right. We'll play No Music Industry again. Let's go.
No one wants to hear his name twice, 3 times. I love you, man. It's all good. That's going to stick in my head every time I hear it. That's what I love. Going to stick in my head.
Tough Dumplin. The Heineken Mississippi, return out the apocalypse. The boy from Jamaica, what you occupy. Banana dada like super cat. Tough Dumplin will never lose. In the 90s, if you were whack, you couldn't pay for views. Compared to now, I'm at the computer like holy cow. 1 million views of this whack shit. Wow, that's just a fraction of really my reaction. If you're too young to know, red man, time for some action. You say you know it all, but do you really know it all? Who made this beat? Well, you don't really know it all. You wondering, can Northern Touch pondering? Well, Thrust is on the track, so I say some shit to bother. I'm on to bother.
And even not like